Hey, did any of you notice that stupid new Instagram update that came out earlier this morning? Well, if you guys did, I'm going to explain to you guys why it even exists on the platform. So, Instagram released a new update that allowed you to swipe left and right to view other photos on the main feed tab as opposed to swiping up and down, vertical. According to 9 to 5 Mac, Instagram has been working on this feature for a very long time. And for a very long time, I mean October. And it seems that not a lot of people like it. As you guys can see, this Twitter user said that he/she doesn't like it either. And I have to say, I don't like it either. I don't know why Instagram even added it to the app. And the bad part about this is that it's coming back. It looks like they only pulled it because a lot of people didn't like it. So it looks like they're going to perfect it in order to get a better understanding of what people really want their Instagram experience to be like. If you want my opinion on this, I think is really stupid. I do not want to swipe left and right to see any other posts on my Instagram feed. I just want to swipe up and down. And Instagram, if you guys add that back, that would be really dumb. No one needs to swipe left and right to view photos. And the bad part about this is that it's the same horizontal swiping that you get when you go to view your stories. If Instagram brings this back, I wouldn't use that app anymore. I'd post and then wait for the notification if someone likes my post on Instagram. Okay, next story. And before I move on to the next news story, Instagram hasn't even fixed the compatibility for the iPhone XS Max and iPhone XR. Photos are still cropped within the Instagram app on those larger iPhones. Okay, now next news story. Are the Apple lawyers fined or detained? Let me explain. So about a couple weeks ago, I've been reporting on this Qualcomm versus Apple case, and I have to say, I'm really entertained by it. I really want to see who wins this legal battle. So far, Qualcomm is winning. The whole battle has to do with copyright patent violations with Apple. It has something to do with the supersizing of images and the ability to use an application with the touchscreen on iOS. Apple then released an update to iOS 12 called iOS 12.1.2 a week later to fix this problem with the iPhone that are being sold in China. Before Apple released this update, Qualcomm ordered all iPhone 7, 7 Plus, 8, 6S, and 6 series with the Qualcomm chips to be banned. And I always had this thought, why not sell the iPhones with the Intel modem? If you guys don't know what Intel or Qualcomm is, they're basically the suppliers that supply cellular modems which allow your iPhone to connect to Wi-Fi networks. Well, cellular networks. Qualcomm then says after releasing iOS 12.1.2 that Apple needs to take this seriously, and they said that they still violate their patent. Apple says that they're still in compliance with the injunction, despite Qualcomm being I'm not even going to say it. Now that you guys are all caught up on what's really happening with Qualcomm and Apple, let's jump into the news. Oh, and they also banned iPhone 7 and 8 in Germany because of a hardware issue to do with power saving. So basically what's happening here, according to 95 Mac, is Apple is still disobeying the court order, which means they're still selling iPhones in China despite the ban. Qualcomm now says that they have the right to fine or detain the 4 Apple legal representatives. Qualcomm is not really doing that, the court is. Now, as for my opinion, I'm basically on both sides of this argument. I'm on Qualcomm's side because Apple should have stopped selling the iPhones in China until they could have figured out this situation. And I'm on Apple's side because despite iOS 12.1.2, Qualcomm still wants iPhones banned in China. For what reason, I really don't know. The patent violation has been fixed with a software update, but Qualcomm says that the issue needs to be taken more seriously. They said that Apple needs to come to court and prove that they no longer violate the patent. Well, you can actually see in iOS 12.1.2, if you're in China, how the app switcher closes on iOS 12 as opposed to other iPhone users in the US and in other regions of the world that have iPhones. The app switcher now dissolves instead of swiping up. They also fixed some other issues with iOS 12.1.2 that I'm really not going to go over because they have nothing to do with this battle, but you guys basically get the idea. Qualcomm is basically playing childish. They still want iPhones banned in China. They've already banned them in Germany. Apple is doing everything they can to get the iPhone sold in China. Sheesh. And the video I uploaded on Christmas, I said that they're also being boycotted because of the arrest of the chief financial officer of Huawei. Yikes, Apple. You have a lot of foots up your behind. Hey, did you guys get an Amazon Alexa for Christmas? Also, did you download a app that was called Set Up Amazon Alexa? And did it ask you for the IP address and serial number of your Echo device? Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but that was a fake Amazon Alexa app. You guys might want to watch the rest of this video so that way you don't get scammed either. Before I get into this news story, I don't know how in the world did this app get through the App Store review in order to get on the App Store so that way other people can go ahead and download it. That's something that I'm really skeptical about. According to 9 to 5 Mac, the fake Amazon Alexa app sits at number 60 for the free applications to download. Now, how this app got ranked so high could be because some people typed keyword like, I don't know, how to set up Amazon Alexa. Amazon Alexa said, how to set up Amazon Echo. That's what pushed this app towards the top. And also, according to 95 Mac, that's what the image of the app looks like. Now, I just have one question. Why? Why create a fake app? Out of all the applications you could have created, you decided to create a fake app? What is wrong with you? Well, at least you guys know. Don't download this app. Search for the real Amazon Alexa app and make sure you scroll down in the App Store and make sure under Seller it says Amazon Incorporated. You guys know what the Amazon Alexa fake app looks like. So now you know not to download it. If it asks for your IP address and serial number, something is fishy. If it doesn't ask you to sign in with your Amazon username and password, something is fishy. I'm surprised no one reported this app yet. Your next iPhone might be made in India instead of China and California. You know, whenever you open up the box for your new iPhone, you always see designed in California, manufactured in China, or something like, well, it's going to be manufactured in India. Let's move on. Apple executives and government officials will meet up in India to discuss their plans for manufacturing new Apple products in India. I don't know if iPads are going to be manufactured in India. We're just going to talk about the iPhone until we get more news. So it seems like Western, which is the company that currently manufactures the Apple iPhone, will no longer be making those iPhones anymore. The company Foxconn will be manufacturing the new iPhone 10 models, for example, the really expensive ones, and I'm guessing that they're going to be manufacturing the budget models as well. Well, Apple's definition of budget. Apple wants to start making iPhones in 2019 as early as, well, I just gave it away, 2019. Now, my opinion, I think that this will improve the sales of iPhones in India because right now, iPhones aren't really doing that well in India. Only 10 iPhones a day are being sold in India. Could be wrong, the number could increase, but based on the article that I discussed with you guys in a couple videos I filmed a week ago, iPhones aren't doing too well in India. So this move might actually increase the sales of iPhones in India. Okay, next story. Apple stock prices increased. They're okay. If you guys followed me on Instagram, I remember talking about this topic. If you guys don't know my Instagram, it's basically Tion_official. I basically talk about these tech news before I head to my YouTube channel and start editing these videos. So Apple stock price seen the biggest jump in a couple of years. How many years, you ask? 4. They've seen the biggest stock increase in 4 years. And you want to know where that year was? 2014. I might get cursed out in the comments. Let's just move on to the news story. Apple stock price increased 7% in one day. That's the best they've seen since 2014. And you guys all thought that Apple was going to be doomed. Well, you Apple haters thought that. I don't think I did not see those comments on my previous video. Apple suck it. Apple iPhones are total. Apple iPhones are BS and other stuff like that. Yeah, I read my comments 24/7. I think this is a really good thing for Apple. Their stock price has been seeing tremendous drops at the month of December, all because they did not show the number of iPhone sales, which really affected their stock price. A lot of iPhones are being sold, etc., etc. Now, before I move on to the next news story, let's ask Siri how her favorite company's stock price is doing. Hey Siri, how's Apple's stock price? Well, Apple, here's what your virtual assistant has to say about it. As Siri can never tell a lie. Looks like your stock price has dropped $6.01, but it's still higher than it was in December. I'll give you credit for that. Have you guys seen those AirPod memes on Twitter? If you guys haven't, I'm going to fill you guys in on these memes. So the AirPod is a very popular Apple product. They're truly wireless. When I mean truly wireless, I mean truly wireless. There's no wires. Only when you are charging do you need a wire for your iPhone. The AirPods have been out for as long as the iPhone 7. It was released in late 2016 and hasn't gotten an update yet. We're supposed to be seeing a hardware refresh as early as 2019. Now, as for these memes, they're not anything mean. For example, they're not anything that insults Apple or anything. They're just really family-friendly memes, if that's what you guys want to call it. I'll give you guys an example. So while I was reading about the meme, 9to5 Mac posted this tweet that someone else has posted on their Twitter page. And it basically says the top 10 richest people in the world. 1 is AirPods owner. And numbers 2 to 10 are far too elaborate to discuss. Go ahead and pause the video if you guys want to read them for yourself. There's nothing bad about the AirPods that would make anyone want to make a insulting meme. The AirPods are perfect. And when I mean perfect, I mean perfect. I haven't seen any other product that's truly wireless that's beating it. I mean, I've seen the Google Pixel Buds, but those are already crappy. I wouldn't advise anyone to get those. Okay, next. You see, privacy plays a big role, especially when you have a big company or platform and you have a lot of users who are on that platform or using products from that company. You want to make sure that you keep all of their privacy safe. And Apple is really good at keeping your data safe. Well, this poll says otherwise. Okay, so this poll ran by a data research firm. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. Ran a poll. The poll was basically based on, do you trust these companies? Or which one you trust the least? Facebook came in first place. Well, that's no surprise. And look where Apple came in. Third place. Now, before you guys start spamming the comment and saying, ha 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 ha, Apple's not good with privacy. You guys do know these polls are actually taken by actual people. It's not actual robots. No one is actually testing privacy of any other phones. Basically asking other people around the web to take this survey and answer these questions to see which one do you trust the least. In my opinion, I think this is stupid. All I have to say for this, it's stupid. Apple is really good with keeping your data safe. I've never heard or read any news story that said Apple exposed user data. This is something I knew was going to happen eventually with the iPhone XR sale. The iPhone XR only took up 32% of iPhone sales. It's actually better than the iPhone X and 8 Plus from last year, which only took up 30 to 39 sales. Most of the people who bought the iPhone XR from this year are basically people who switched over from the Android platform to iOS. Now, here's my opinion as to why no one bought the iPhone XR and why it only took up 32% of the sale. Number one, that display. It is 1792 by 828 resolution, which means it is upscaled 720p and downscaled 1080p. On any YouTube video you watch, you are not watching 1080p video on that screen, though the setting says that you can go ahead and watch the video in 1080p. The display will default to its native resolution, which is 828p. Number two, it sacrifices 3D Touch, a feature that's available on phones that are cheaper than it, like the iPhone 8 and iPhone 7. Number three, $750 is not budget. I don't know if that's Apple's definition of a budget iPhone. That is not budget. There are Android phones out there that are $300 that offer the same features of flagship smartphones. Not just Apple, but other Android smartphones for a smaller price. The Pocophone or Pocophone, or however you guys want to call it, costs $300 and it offers you a lot of features. The OnePlus 6 as well as the OnePlus 6T is in the range of $500 to $600 and it offers so many other features that the iPhone and other Android smartphones have at a much lower price. That's also why the iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max aren't selling that well. Those are the only reasons I can think of. That's all I have for today's video, guys. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that way you guys do not miss my next video. If you guys like this video, let me know with a like or dislike. I could care less. The voting poll is almost finished. If you guys haven't voted for your favorite smartphone of 2018, I will leave the link down in the description. Well, no one reads the description anymore. I'll leave it down in the comment. Before I end today's video, I do want to say that I'm going to be using a new feature called hashtags, which YouTube rolled out. If you guys want to know how to use those in your YouTube video, I am working on a video which explains how to use that feature. So, stay tuned. I've been Tian Official. I'll see you guys in my next one.